Oh, hey, Jill here, and you're listening to Organized Chaos with Jill. I'm your host and mom of three, and this is the show where we chat all the mom things and then some. So grab your coffee or whatever it is that gets you through the day, and let's get to it. Guys, I'm freaking out a little bit. I am happy, scared, excited, nervous, really feeling all the feels. Welcome to episode 1. Please bear with me here. I'm going to be totally honest. I don't even have my recording area fully set up, but in true mom fashion, I found that little window of time, pocket of time that I could do something. And I just had to bite the bullet and be like, let's go. It's time. We're recording. We're doing this. And I am so thrilled to be here with all of you. Today, I just wanted to sort of start really basic and kind of touch base on daily routine and what works for us that might work for you if you're struggling to kind of find the balance of the household work and whatnot along with being a mom. Mom life is crazy and chaotic and messy and fun, and we wouldn't change it for the world. But, there's certain little things throughout the day that can help us make that chaos a little bit easier, a little bit, dare I say, organized. So routine for me has always been, even prior to marriage, prior to kids, I've just thrived when I have a routine, when I have a day-to-day kind of organized schedule. It's just the type of person I am. And when we had kids, started to have kids, it was really important to me to keep some sort of structure and some sort of routine. I am going to be honest, I was not somebody from the start that was going to be basing my day-to-day on when the baby naps and all this stuff. Obviously, his naps were important, his eating time, stuff like that. But I also wanted to make sure that we were able to keep a routine that worked for everybody. So this is something that has started from the very beginning when we just had James, and now obviously we're 3 kids down the line. This is still our routine and it works. So I'm hoping that some of the tips and tricks and things that I share that help us on our day-to-day routine might help you. So a big thing about me is I am obsessed with laundry. I don't know why. You can ask my mom. I was 13 years old, I think, and I just decided I was going to do my own laundry. And I think she had a little bit of a panic attack and then realized I was actually not bad at laundry. And it was a running joke that I became the laundress of the family. I did everybody's laundry growing up. I just enjoyed it. I don't know. I'm weird. I'm crazy. But I know that there's a lot of people that absolutely hate laundry. So here's my little kind of trick, I guess you would say, tip for those of you that kind of struggle to balance the laundry along with everything else. So for us, we wake up early here. My husband and I's alarm goes off at 5:40 a.m. The kids are either up at the same time we are, sometimes up around 6:30, and we are out of the house before 7. We are a single car family and we drive my husband to work. So we're up and out ready to start our day. That being said, when it comes to laundry, whether you have 1 kid, 2 kids, 3 kids, you're doing a lot of laundry. So what I like to do, if I know that I'm coming back home, because nobody wants laundry sitting in the washer forever. If I know that after we drop off my husband, we're basically coming right back home, maybe 1 quick stop in between, I will throw a load of laundry on right in the morning, right from the start, first thing. Because that way, I don't have to think about it later. When we come back, I pop it in the dryer. I don't have to worry about it. And that first part of the laundry saga is already done. And the day is just beginning. The same thing kind of goes for dishes. Now, I was somebody prior to getting married and even maybe after marriage, but prior to kids, was someone that I would not like to leave the dishes in the sink at the end of the night. I wanted it all put away, all cleaned. I didn't want to wake up and have a mess in the kitchen. I realized there was some things I had to give after I became a mom. And one of the things for me was the dishes can wait, you know? And so now, yes, I don't necessarily want a sink full of dirty dishes, especially depending what you eat and having to like tackle caked on stuff in the morning. But my difference is I might throw some things in the dishwasher at night. I might just put them in the sink and rinse them off. If I have a pot or something that I used, I'll, fill it with soapy water to like let it sit overnight. But I don't do like a deep, thorough, clean, everything washed, dried, put away before I go to bed at night. That's worked for me. And it does help in the morning too. So now come morning, I may take some of those dishes now that I'm feeling refreshed, pop them in the dishwasher. And then I usually, my husband and I have our coffee, throw the mugs in the dishwasher, and then press start before leaving the house. And again, that's just a quick way to get one of those basic household chores that nobody thinks of anything really out of the way. I might come back to that pan that was soaking a little bit later. I don't necessarily do that at 6 o'clock in the morning. But again, just putting the dishes in the dishwasher, finishing off our coffee, throwing the mugs in last minute, and just hitting start before walking out the door is a quick way to get a task done and then go about your day. And that's just like all before 7 a.m. or before, obviously for me, we wake up early. You might wake up a little bit later. Totally okay. You can still fit that in if it works for you. So we drive my husband to work. That's our first thing. And then it's either, we might go to our favorite bagel place, as the kids call it, or the donut shop and grab a quick bite. I might grab another coffee because mom life. And then, we're on our way. And whenever I am out, whether it's going to breakfast real quick, unless I'm hitting a drive-through, or I'm going to Target, going to the grocery store, taking the kids to an event or an activity, or even just in the parking lot, if people see me loading and unloading my car, I have had so many strangers come up to me and be, just say, "Well, you sure have your hands full." And I laugh, and there's this small part of me that wants to start sarcastically snap back and be like, "Gee, you don't say." But I don't. I usually just give a friendly little nod, chuckle. We've got it down to a science. But they're not wrong, right? Moms, we have our hands full. Whether it's one kid or 3 kids, you have your hands full. I've already said it. Mom life is crazy and chaotic and messy and fun, but we wouldn't have it any other way. So as I'm juggling all this, and I'm putting if I don't wear the baby in the grocery store, which I tend to do because the boys are obsessed with driving the shopping cart, and it has 2 seats, so it's perfect for them. If not, I'm putting the baby carrier in the main part of the cart, one kid standing, one sitting, and there's barely any room for groceries, but we make it work. Also, if I don't want to go into the grocery store, I have to say, sincerely, moms everywhere, curbside pickup was one of the best things to come out of COVID and stores not being in person. Not gonna lie, I absolutely love not having to get out of the car with all of them because it is crazy sometimes. So I utilize that probably more than I should. But also I do like to take them out and go into the stores, and my sons like to go to the shopper store, as they call their groceries store, and they like to pick things out and snacks and whatnot. So I do let them go in every now and then, but it's crazy. Like the strangers say, have your hands full, right? So that's kind of our morning routine. We come back, and for us, the day can go many different ways. If it's nice out, we're fortunate that we have a playground next door. So, I take them for a little walk to the playground. We meet up with friends at other playgrounds. That's great, that we're able to get the kids outside. It also just burns out energy. And if you're a boy mom, maybe for girl moms too, but my girl is still so young, so I haven't seen this. If you are a boy mom, they need to get their energy out somehow. But we come back. Again, we're up early, so sometimes they're a little tired, although they've been anti-nap during the day. they chill a little bit, be it with books, throwing on a show. I'm not like screen time 24/7, but I'm also not an anti-screen time mom. Come on, we need our sanity sometimes, and let's be honest, it helps. I also am a mom that is intending to homeschool. Now, I know that's not for everybody, and that's totally okay. And yes, my kids are not necessarily of true school age, but every day we do like to do something, be it letters, numbers, colors. We made like an alphabet caterpillar. We made counting fish, where they got to practice kind of tracing the letters, tracing the numbers, things like that. Basic, like 10 minutes a day. But it just helps. And you don't have to be a homeschool mom to do that. I mean, it's something to just do with kids, make a craft out of it, have fun with it. And that is, I guess, a mom trick to like teach kids and be educational, but still doing something fun, because for the caterpillar that we made with the alphabet, to them, that was just fun, making this big giant caterpillar on the wall. But they also were learning their letters and tracing the letters and playing with the like bingo Doppler dot art things. I think it's just called dot art, but my mind associates them to bingo. So, and just having fun with it and going from there. So I don't know if you want to call that a tip or trick. I guess it could be, right? It's like when people throw like vegetables into a chocolate smoothie, it's like tricking them, like you're eating healthy, but it tastes delicious. I don't think I've done that with the kids yet, because I'm fortunate that my kids aren't super picky eaters just yet. I should knock on wood with that. But yeah, so that's kind of our basic morning routine, afternoon routine. James is in swimming lessons, so we do go to that once a week. Obviously, if there's like appointments and stuff, we go. We had a local place was doing a play group once a week. It's not active right now. It'll pick back up again in the fall, but that's something I highly recommend. And honestly, I need to like take my own advice here. Look up local things in your area. Like if there's any free play groups, things like that. I mean, the one that we found, I shouldn't even say we, my husband found it, that the boys, well, and Anna, but the boys were going to weekly before. It was free. You know, it's a fun activity. They got to meet other kids. They did a weekly kind of theme during the summer and had like a partnership and did different crafts, played with toys. And then the last one of the season was this like bang out party basically at the playground. They had an ice cream truck, a petting zoo. It was awesome. And again, free. Like, hello, moms everywhere. That's what you want. You don't want to have to think about spending money at the same time when you want to find these things. So definitely utilize that. I know libraries do a lot. I'll, truth be told, have not taken them yet to that, any of the things at the library, but I know that they offer some pretty cool events. Also, like, we have a theater nearby our house, not a movie theater, but like an actual like show theater, but they do movies there. And every now and then they do a free movie. So we saw like Peter Rabbit. And I know typically, you know, the kids are young. You don't want to take them to a movie theater where you're spending $20 a ticket, which I can remember spending $20 in total at the movies back in the day. So that's crazy too, how much times have changed. And now I just feel like I sound super old saying that. But it's a way to introduce kids to like a movie. It's a kid-friendly movie. It's a smaller theater, stuff like that. Again, I don't know if it's everywhere. It may not be where you are, but something to look into, right? So definitely utilize, you know, local areas, local attractions that might be discounted or free, because that is also a super fun way to just do things throughout the day where you're not feeling like you're sitting in the house with them, or, you know, if it's rainy and you can't go outside and play, there's all these things that do, you know, for different options. So yeah, there's that. And then of course, at the end of the day, we do our typical like bath time, dinner time, not always in that order. And then we pick up my husband from work. Sometimes he's working late, and so I might do dinner for the kids and then give them a bath and put them in their pajamas, because they're going to fall asleep in the car by the time we're picking up my husband. And I'm lucky that they transfer pretty easily to the bed. Other times, you know, I might just go pick up my husband, we come back, we all have dinner together, and then I'm giving them a bath before bed. We don't have as intense, I guess, of a bedtime routine as we do a morning routine, which honestly, if you have tips or tricks to share about bedtime, comment, let me know, because I'm also open to other ideas. I am not a professional here. I'm not, my way is the best way, the only way. I'm just trying to share things that work for me, might work for you, but I am definitely, open to hearing other ideas, because we don't really have a true bedtime routine. It's different, each of the three have a different kind of sleep structure, I would say. We co-slept with my oldest because he was anti-crib. And so he still struggles sometimes and wants to be in our bed, even though he has his own twin bed. Where William, our middle child, is not a cuddler by any means. If we bring him up in our bed, he's rolling around, wants his own space. So he goes on to his own bed and, he's out. And then Anna is obviously being a baby. She's in her crib with us, in our room, but she's up a few times still throughout the night, but that's a whole different story. So our bedtime kind of looks a little different than some, but it works for us, I guess, right now. But again, open to any ideas, especially kicking your kid out of your bed, because James is way too comfortable in our bed. So that's kind of our basic daily structure, I guess. I know I didn't dive into too much. I hope I didn't overwhelm. I hope I don't sound like a rambling crazy lady. But just to recap, my kind of three little tips, tricks is just starting a load of laundry first thing in the morning, getting it going. Same thing, allowing yourself to let the dishes wait. So the same thing with the dishes in the morning. You're just cleaning it up, pressing start on that dishwasher if you have it. And then you have 2 tasks that you can cross off your list right from the get-go, before your day really even gets started. But more importantly, after that cup of coffee. And then another kind of piece of advice I kind of shared is just look locally, see if there's any free groups or free events or discounted events to help get you guys out of the house, stay dry if it's a rainy weather day or something like that, or if it's too hot even, because I don't know where you guys are. You could be listening to this and it's not crazy, but we've had here in Massachusetts some really hot weather lately, and it's gross being outside. And so it's been nicer to find activities to do inside. So those are kind of my tips, tricks, things like that I've shared today. Again, if you listened to my mini-sode introduction, which I hope you guys did, we've got some great things coming up. So be sure to stay tuned. Follow us on Instagram at Organized Chaos with Jill. And, I'm going to share any upcoming episodes, any special announcements, anything on that social media platform. If you have any questions, comments, ideas, I would love to hear them. You can send me a message through there, or you can email me at organizedchaoswithjill@gmail.com. I am checking that constantly as well. So be sure to follow along here. Listen, share with your friends. I hope that you love this. I hope you are excited, and stay tuned for what's coming next week. Have a good one, guys.